Hello, vac fans. I have here my DS80 taken apart, and I saw this machine sitting over in a corner, and it was saying to me, do something with me, do a test, even though it's in kind of rough shape. So you saw earlier, I kind of called this Bill's Lost Cause, because it somewhat is, and I don't really want to dump a ton of money into it. But I did a few tests with these different fans right here. And obviously this is the original metal fan, and here is one of the newer A-model fans. This one's a little bit chewed up, but I wanted to show you this for scale. Now let me see if I can get this up to where you can see it. So let's see, I line the bottoms up. Do you see the difference in the fan blades, particularly the height? Now this one's 11 fan blades, this one is 10. And this isn't a big deal to duplicate this little spindle here, that's not a problem. But, you know what's a problem is the height. So, when this fan is where it should be, I get 125 CFM from the nozzle here. And that's without a brush roll in it, and without a belt, nothing spinning, it's just empty. So you could say it's like a straight suction cleaner, because it really is, just a big open area. And I figured maybe I can do, I don't know, a flour test or a baking soda test or something like that, but using it as a straight suction machine, literally. So I don't have a brush roll or belt at the moment. I'm not sure that I'm going to, I know you can buy them, but I'm not sure that I'm going to invest a whole lot into this. I have to see basically how much fun I have with it. But when I put the original fan in, and it's got a little bit of a chunk out of it right here, I get, with this fan, 125 CFM on my airflow box. And of course, remember, that's with this being naked and empty. Now, interesting thing happens when I put this A-modal fan on, and yes, I've got the spacer and all the other little things you can fiddle with to adjust height and whatnot. But when I put this fan on, even making sure it seats properly right here, I noticed a couple of things. Well, the first one is that everything runs quieter. But it runs quieter because the machine's actually running slower, which is weird. This fan, 125 CFM, and the motor draws 5 amps. And I believe, based on my research, it's supposed to be 5 amps for this motor. This, I put it in, and I get about 110, maybe 111 CFM, and the machine runs quieter, but the motor only draws 4 amps. So, based on the obvious design differences here, the heights, I think I'm going to put the metal fan back in, even though it's going to be a little unbalanced, and the whole machine's going to sound a little rattly. And if you remember in my Lost Cause video, I was able to rebuild the front bearing, but I haven't been able to get the whole armature out to rebuild the bottom bearing just yet. I haven't had enough time to see if I can't figure something out that's inexpensive, a way to extract this completely and rebuild the bottom bearing, the rear bearing. So I'm going to put this metal fan in, and we're going to run a couple of tests, just because we can do it. And I don't have the shakeout bag, unfortunately, so I'm going to use a Heritage 2 Legend emptor and bag assembly with a HEPA bag in there. Well, why not? That's what I got laying around. Thought we'd put some flour underneath the carpet and see what this worst looking DS80 FrankenKirby can actually do. Look at that. I got a Heritage 2 Legend bag hooked up to it. And fair warning, it's going to sound awful and it's going to sound loud, that's for sure. Alright, let's see what happens. straight suction only. I do not have a belt or a brush roll handy. There it is. All right. Turn your volumes down now. Listen to the wind down on that thing. All right. Well, look at that. Okay, so not really so hot. You can see it's bunched everything up here, bunched everything up there. It might have gotten some, but let me tell you, it's kind of hard to tell. I'll tell you what we're going to do, though. This thing didn't have any agitation whatsoever. I mean, obviously, straight suction only. So we need something to agitate the carpet. So let's pick it up off of the carpet and off of the concrete floor. We'll do the concrete floor first. Well, that went pretty fast. And I wonder, can I get it off of the carpet where you can see it? Yeah, maybe that will work. Let me see if you can see that. All right, a little bit. You can see that a little bit. I'll flatten it down. Yep, that worked. So, yeah, that was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well, it looks like you need a little agitation, I suppose. Let's see. I wonder what other test I can come up with. All right, here I have some Kirby twins. What do I mean by twins? This one right here at the nozzle, it's a 14-inch nozzle, has 125 CFM. And it's got a brush roll in it. It's the oblique soft one. This one, metal fan, also has 125 CFM, no brush roll, no belt. So this is like a straight suction cleaner. So let's put some goop on top of the carpet and see what happens. No, it's not a fair fight. That's not really the point. I just wanted an opportunity to do something with my DS80 that has been sitting in the corner crying out, use me, use me. I don't work very well, but I can do something. And rice. Ooh. Very hard to pick up. Okay, so there's some goop in there. You know what? I think we need a little more flour. Big pile of goop. There we go. So I will use the Dual Sanitronic 80 straight suction, and I'll see what I can do. I'm going to adjust the height of the machine periodically because, I mean, you know it's going to snow plow and do all kinds of weird things. But what the heck. Fair warning, turn your volume down now. Oops. What'd I do? Hold it up. It helps. Now, I stopped this right here, show you something. Say, well, it looked like it picked up all the rice. Well, it was just bouncing around inside the head. So, there we go. Bunch of rice still there. So, for very fine particles, and I guess the oats as well, straight suction doesn't do a half bad job. So, let's move this out of the way and put the G5 on there. Same CFM, a little less CFM density because the nozzle is a little bit bigger. Put a little more rice down, and let's remake our carpet soup. Some of this down, and let's see what the same 125 CFM with a soft oblique brush roll does. And I may adjust the height on this as well. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Anything coming out of this? I'm stuck in there. Nope. So that's something. So I had it down to normal height, and this is all we really had left. And that's just in one forward, backward pass. So the whole point of this test was so I could actually just show you my really horrible FrankenKirby. And if you know of any worse FrankenKirbys, hey, let me know. Send me a link. I'd love to see just how bad they look and bad they sound. I doubt you'll find one in worse condition than this. So that's really fantastic. That's all it left in one pass. Let's go ahead and pick the rest of that up. Yep, that's it. Gone. I'm looking to see if I can find... There's got to be one grain of rice somewhere. Ah, I found one. Here we go. Here. One. Thanks for watching.